Hi everyone, it is Mickey here from A Pretty Talent, and I'm desperately hoping that I can make this video today because my voice is a little bit gone. I've been coughing like crazy, but in any case, I wanted to come and show you how I have done a bit of mask making on these little notebook journals, and so I've got 9 completed and actually 7 more in the process. Now I'm hoping to throw 6 of those into a workshop that will be in the near future. But here's what I've done. I have brought out this little die cut set that I've got, and you can see it has the outline of a butterfly. It has the actual butterfly. If you use those two in conjunction with each other, you get these little lovely cutouts. It also has a flower, a leaf. I didn't do the leaf. And then these little buttons that you can use to decorate the butterfly with. And then the butterfly body. So that's the set. Now, these as well, they work in conjunction with each other. And you can see, because I've got 16 of those, they're quite bent. It's not a problem when they go through the ruler. They flatten out, and you can use them again. You can probably just bend them a little bit more straight. In any case, I'm not going to bother because I know this happens, especially if you use the same die over and over again. Then that is bound to happen. But it's still perfectly good. So if that happens to your dies, don't get yourself into a tiff over it. Okay, so that's what I used. Now after that, okay, so this is what I've cut from it then. So I cut the outline of the butterfly with this little wingspan. And let's start by gluing this together while we're talking about it. I guess this one. And you simply glue this on top of each other. Alright, lovely. And then on this side, on the inside, you will see that I have glued the little complementary butterflies and flowers. So again, bringing out the glue stick. I don't know what I've done with my glue sheet. Oh goodness, I've closed this. That was very forward thinking. Okay, so we just glue it in place. And the glue will dry clear, so that little bit of white that you see there, don't fret it. Well, if you're not working with it glue that dries clear, then you need to be way more careful than I need to be. And then we just put the body in place, and then a little flower. Just a little something like that. Now then, using the leftover pieces from the cutting out, I then took a little punch like this, and I just punched 1, 2, 3 little suns, and I took my little circle punch, tiniest one I've got, and I made a whole lot of circles. Oh, that one won't work. That'll probably be enough, so let's start gluing it together and seeing where we end up on. And now I'm just going to eyeball it to space it out a bit. So just dollops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I think I've got one too few, but that's fine. We'll get to that one. And then we just put these in place. And I'm showing you this. It's something I could have done beforehand. But when you do projects like this, the end product looks, I don't know, a little simple, a little easy, as if there wasn't a whole lot of time and effort spent on it necessarily. And if you see, well, at least part of the process happening, I think one has a little bit more appreciation for exactly how much time goes into something as simple as a little notebook making. And this is not not for the recipient, this is for the maker. It's easy to look at the project like this and think, I'm going to quickly sit down and do this. But I'm doing this in almost real time. And I'm saying almost real time because you didn't see me gather the papers together, do the die cutting, all of that kind of stuff, which also took a fair amount of time. Okay, now, for the 3 little suns, I just do a dollop of glue like that. And I stick them down. Now this is cardstock, it's not paper. And so it's not likely to lift and bend and do all kinds of crazy things. Now, after that, let me just clean up the glue here. What I would normally do is glue one side, let it dry, glue the other side, let it dry. I'm not going to bother now. Now after that, what I've done is I brought in my little bling elements. Okay. And this time I used a multi-purpose glue like Tombow glue. And I started with the... that's way too much glue. I started with the larger ones. Now, what shall I put on those shapes? I kind of like this one for the this one there. Here's another one of those. This one there. Okay. And then when I had those in place, and honestly, ideally this glue should be dry so that these dots don't move now, but I'm not going to wait. Okay, let's just do those now. And now I'm going to plonk these down. And they're not all the same size, and I'm not too concerned with that. We just need a bit of a finishing touch on these black dots. And the Tomo glue is an extremely good glue. So you just need a touch of it. My apologies. It will dry clear again. I am going to apologize beforehand. I'm going to cough. I am battling I don't know, some sort of ailment. Taking a sip of something on the side so that I can continue filming. Sorry, there's all sorts of warping taking place now. My goodness. Because of the wetness of the different glues. But that will straighten out as it dries. Okay. We'll put that one aside to dry completely. Now, I've also cut A4 pages in 4 quadrants. I've taken an acetate sheet. This is an old right until transparency, and some of the black cardstock, all cut into 4 quarters. Okay. Now we need to trim these. These came from a paper pad, so you can see that kind of edge there. We want to get rid of that. Right, so that's going to be our determining size. Right. Those are our papers. All trimmed down to size. We also need to trim down the black cardstock to the same size. As well as the acetate. There we go. Right. Put our paper trimmer aside. Get rid of that. Now, there's our little booklet. Now what we want to do is to trim just 2 of the corners. Around these 2 corners. And these will take in little parcels. If you put too many of them in at once, you don't get a clean cut, and you actually just end up messing up your papers. I tried, of course I did, because I was mass making, and you know, the repetition sometimes gets to you. So anyways, don't. Learn from our mistakes. About 4 sheets at a time. And don't double up on your acetate and your cardstock. Those you need to punch separately. But it's already starting to look really nice, isn't it? Now, the next step is to bring in this little thingy, and it's still wet, so I'm working really carefully here. And I want to bring in my crocodile knockoff. Have I ever talked about why I use knockoffs? There are 2 reasons. The actual products are humongously expensive. They need to be imported. You can't get them in South Africa. And that makes them really, really expensive. I mean, they're already expensive. They just go over the top expensive. And if you do find them in stores and you don't import them yourself, the markup is terrible. It cost me about 1/10 of my salary for the actual crocodile. My monthly salary. And so the knockoffs will have to do. I'd love to support the actual product, but honestly, at the price, it's simply not doable. Okay, so that's what we're doing. We're spacing it on our page and then just cutting the 3 holes. Now, we're going to leave that be for the moment. We're going to leave that be for the moment. I don't want... This still needs to dry properly, so I'm going to put it aside. And then I'm just going to wash off. This is a water-based glue. I don't want the glue on the acetate. It's going to make it look ugly. Okay, so let's put the acetate aside as well. Let it dry properly. Now, as for this, I have been preparing all sorts of stamps and things. I'm going to be using this Star Print in color ink black. And here's what I'm doing. I have a set of, where's that set of stamps? Let me show you. Here's the set of stamps, butterfly stamps. And I'm actually using the whole set. I also have these two sets of stamps. This one, I'm only using those two. And this one, and again I'm using the whole set. So that's what I'm now going to be using. Right, so let's get this properly organized. My apologies. I don't stamp on the pack. You get a clearer stamp on a solid surface. So all of my stamps are already mounted, which makes this go a little bit faster. And I start with a little butterfly. And then for this page, I have two mounted stamps. That look like that. And go like that. Now, on the reverse, I'm going to come in with that same little butterfly in the corner here. And then, and I'm just inking off camera because otherwise I've got to work over the paper and I don't want to do that. I have two alternate shapes. Oops. Well, that one didn't come exactly right, but that's fine. It'll do. And I put it aside. Now I go to a second stamp with a butterfly on it. And I put that in the top corner. And I kind of alternate tops and bottoms as I go. We'll get back to that one. Oh, sorry. It's me bumping the cable. Now we're going to do some stenciling still, so don't go away. Don't fret that. If you have a MISTI or any kind of other stamp platform and you're not mass making, you're making a single one, then go for it. I find that this particular stamp tends to do that, so that's an error on the stamp. And again, I'm still not fretting it too much because, well, I know where I'm going with this. It'll fit in with the rest of the style. This one I'm actually combining with the word butterfly. And then I am coming in with another little stamp, which I'm not going to put straight. Like that. And do something similar on the reverse. Now the idea is that once you've made these little notebooks, You can use them as kinds of junk journals. Now we will be creating a whole lot of writing space on these, because I think a journal should have writing space. And with a lot of junk journals especially, there isn't a lot of writing space that's created, but I like to include writing space, maybe because I'm a writer. To me, the writing part of this is as important and as much an art as the making of the journal. You'll see I'm alternating larger and smaller butterflies, not paying too much mind to the size of the butterflies. I think it makes it more interesting when you have a variety. Now I'm going to come in with another stamp again, just to keep things spiced up and interesting. Right, I'm going to put this one at the top as well. I need the next one at the bottom. Okay, and then our last sheet is this one, and again I'm going to come in with these two. Like that. Flip it over. A little butterfly. And the last stamp before we start stenciling. It's this one. Right, brilliant. Okay, now that one's done. This one, you come in with this little stencil. Now you can do this straight or you can do the skew. or you can do this any which way you want. I don't like things to be too straight, too predictable. So I tend to just mix it up a bit. And again, I like that. You can take it off if you don't like it, but that's something I actually welcome. I kind of like how this is lying here on my page as well, so I'm going to use part of that, part of the stencil, include it in this one. Right, and then this one, did I bump the cable again? My apologies. This one looks like this. That one is done. Oh, come on. Now we're going to go for these haphazard lines. So let me straighten these. And I'll show you what I do with these. Then I go on to this side as well. I just give myself that. Like that. Okay, on this side I won't do that. It's too predictably the same. We don't want the same all over. Oh, and then his straight lines. Well, they won't be straight. Now, this is going to be our journaling space. And that's as far as we're going to go with decorating this. But the idea is that a person can come in and they can do some more, I don't know, whatever they want to do. Add some paper, trim or lace, or I don't know, maybe some more stamping, stenciling. But the idea is to take this further. We just give this a jumping block. So if you're going to turn this into little gifts, which I'm probably going to do, that's why I was mass making them, then this is not a finished product. This is a product that has been taken up to a point, and the recipient gets to finish it and personalize it a little bit more. Shall I do this? Yes, why not? Let me line it up there with that side. And then do these as well. Or shall I give them a straight one? We haven't done a lot of straight, so let me. Okay, that one is done. I'll put this one straight and give them a bit of space to play on that side. And when I say them, whoever receives this. not the same thing twice in a row. Short little poems, or if you're doing Bible study and a particular verse of the day has stood out to you as being, especially for you, something you pray about, little spurts of wisdom, that's what I call them, spurts of insight that you gain during the course of a day. These are the kinds of things you write down in a little journal notebook like this one. And it doesn't even have to be either or. It can be all of these in the same little notebook. You tend to put orders around things, boundaries around things. Like this one is for prayer, that one is for Bible journaling, and this one, no, they can all be in the same journal. Can't they? I think they can. Shall we give them another straight one? Okay, we'll give them one more straight one. And then another fun one. Fun. How much fun? Lots of fun. Let's do this. I'm going to have to... Nope, I'm going to have to do this. Okay, if we're going to do lots of fun, you're going to have to come in like that. Now I just got to be careful that I'm not going over my butterfly. So I have tried to incorporate a little bit of everything on this one. Fantastic. And that is that for the stenciling. Now look at my hands in any case. So now we put our little book together. A little acetate cover. And our little, that's dry enough now. Okay. So this Tombow glue will take a while to dry, probably about 24 hours to properly dry. Now I am measuring here on my bottom of my pad, 35 centimeters I found to be ideal. Can't get the scissors in there. And this is wax thread. It's the word left. I didn't think it would make it return, but it did just in time. Okay. And we want to start on this cover side because we want to end on the cover side. Now, if you don't want this to end on the cover side, then you need to start from the back. So go in the front, in the middle, and you're leaving yourself about that length, the width of the journal, okay? And ideally put your finger there now. And then either top or bottom, again the middle, top or bottom, and again the middle. Now I know other people that do the 3-hole stitch, they don't come in the middle, they sidestep the middle, but I'm going to show you why I do that. I am now going to come in on this end, and I'm going to put this through my needle through the end, and through this end, and out the center again. Again this side, again that side, and now I have a proper yarn that's not going to go anywhere, and especially because I'm using the wax yarn, the wax thread. Now a double knot, and then a very simple butterfly knot, which is most befitting. Shorten that end, and you can now just play with them a bit. But that's the idea of this. And that's how you mass make a couple of these. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope you try something similar yourself. It is a lot of fun. So until the next one, cheers guys.